How's it going, guys? Bravo One here, and today I wanted to talk about my survival knife. And the knife I chose to go with is the 499 survival knife made by the Ontario Knife Company. And the Ontario Knife Company has been around for a long time and have made a name for themselves. This particular knife is actually a military issue knife to the U.S. Air Force. They have other knives in their collection of knives that they sell that are also military issue knives, which is a reassuring thing that the knives that they have and make are used by our military and actually have seen combat and have been proven knives in theaters of war. So, first we'll talk about the technical aspects of the knife. The knife is actually 9.5 inches long in overall length. The blade itself is 5 inches long, and you can see there on the handle that it has a leather stacked disc style handle. That handle's really comfortable, actually. It doesn't look it from afar, but when you put it in your hand, it really does feel nice. And the great thing about that handle is that it is actually a little bit rough and coarse, so it tends to not move when you have a good firm grip on it. You can see here that the blade itself has got a black coating on it, and that coating is actually a zinc phosphate coating. I know a lot of the knives out there are actually powder coated. This particular knife has a zinc phosphate coating, and it gives it a nice look and actually a nice feel. It's kind of a coarse feel to it. And really what the purpose of that is to protect a knife from the beatings that Mother Nature can bring down upon it. Such as, in my particular case, living next to a large body of salt water. There is salt in the air and it can cause corrosion to metal objects, and this would protect it from that. It also does a great job at keeping this blade from being a reflective surface. Believe me, that's important when you're trying to evade an enemy that's trying to kill you and you're trying to hide. This blade hits the sun in the wrong direction and it doesn't have something like that on it. You can see how reflective that edge is right there, just with a little bit of light. So if you were to take direct sunlight onto this knife and it didn't have this, it would be very reflective and give up your position, and that's the last thing you want when you're trying to evade the enemy. It's got a really nice sturdy handguard there, which is a really nice aspect to the gun, or to the knife as well. The knife is really well constructed. It's got a good spine that goes up the center of the knife, and you can see it right here. If I can get a good angle, there you go. And really, this back side of the knife is actually very sturdy and solid. You could use that as a hammering tool. You could also use that as a weapon, a blunt force trauma weapon, if you wanted to strike somebody on top of the head or something like that in a battle, hand-to-hand combat situation. The 5-inch blade there is plenty enough to do some damage if you were to use this also in a hand-to-hand situation. And you need to go to this guy. It's going to do serious vital organ damage. It will reach that deep into the body to get those vitals. I chose the 9.5-inch overall length because it's not very bulky or anything like that, and the overall weight is really nice and manageable. And when it comes down to it, you do have to kind of watch what you buy, and weight reduction is a serious matter when it comes to your gear and how you run what you're wearing. This would be something that I would have attached to me at all times, because this is going to be the most important tool when you are in a camp situation or survival type situation, this is going to be the guy that's going to get you through it. On the back side here, you can see that it's got a serrated edge, and that is actually for sawing purposes. And it actually is comes in real handy if you need to cut wood or something like that. Now, it's not real sharp, but if you run that guy across some wood enough times, it's going to get the job done. It is a really sharp blade. It's 1095 carbon steel. It's got a hardness of 50 to 55 HRC. And some guys say that's a little bit too soft of a blade. I'd prefer a softer blade. The harder blades have a tendency to break, actually. They're harder, so they're a little bit more brittle. So that's why I go with that hardness. I find it to be actually an advantage, not a disadvantage, especially in certain weather conditions. So the sheath here is really high quality leather. In the front pocket here, you got a sharpening stone. That sharpening stone is really nice quality, and comes in real handy if you're in a camping situation and you're really putting a beating on the knife, because again, that's going to become your main tool for a survival situation. And that blade will take a beating, and when the blade takes a beating and it gets dull and gets out of alignment there, you can go ahead and sharpen it with this guy, and you're back in business. Now, I also have a lesser quality sharpening stone that I carry, because this guy's not very big. Eventually, depending how long you're out in a scenario, it's a good chance you could damage that guy. Maybe it starts to become less effective, and at least you got a backup. It's also a little bit small, so a little bit more difficult to work with, being that it's small. But nonetheless, it's a good quality sharpening stone, and that's actually really important. On the back side here, you'll see that it's got a little plastic plate, and what that does is protects actually the knife from poking through and doing damage to you if you're carrying it around. So that's an important feature to this sheath, so you don't injure yourself while you're carrying it. It's got these holes at the top, and it's got 2 holes at the bottom. You could actually run cord through there and wear this as a attachment to your upper thigh. You could tie it around your thigh if you'd like to. You could even tie it. I've seen people actually tie it to their upper arm. And that's not very comfortable for me. But you could also wear it with the belt loop. So that's got some options as how excuse me, as to how to wear it. It's a really good quality leather, really high quality leather, and you can see that you get a lot for your money. The Ontario Knife Company sells really high quality stuff, battle proven equipment, and this thing ran me $55-60, and it is well worth the money. You could get from another company, you could find a knife similar to this that's not made with the same type of quality control and care put into it, and paid $80-90. So again, really great company, and really great piece of equipment. And again, I chose this overall length of 9.5 because it's lightweight and not very bulky. So you want to keep that in mind. You want to run your gear as to how you feel you're going to be most effective, and I felt like this would be the most effective tool for my setup. So I just wanted to show you guys that. I highly recommend this company. If you get a chance, go on to their website. It's Ontario Knife Company. I believe it's OntarioKnifeCompany.com, if I'm not mistaken. I'll look that up, and I'll actually post it, and you can check them out. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this helped you with any kind of questions you might have had about purchasing a knife, and hopefully you go check out Ontario Knife Company, and I think you'll be impressed with their with the knives that they sell.